Hi guys, so I just wanted to make a little video for you showing you how we're gonna do some of this stuff. Before we super get into this, I just want to thank you guys. You guys have really been killing it with doing the assignments. I know I kind of don't post them all right away, but it's because I am trying to juggle this mess as well and also trying to condense the packets or these units down as small as possible for you guys. So it just kind of takes me a while. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there and for turning everything in. I read all of your guys' hypothesis and I literally of your last lesson and I was like so happy I could have cried. You guys all sounded great. And I'm just super proud of you guys and what you're doing. Okay, so I want to show you guys some stuff. So this is going to be the last day of Unit 9, or so I'm hoping. If we have to add another, actually ignore what I'm about to say. It's the last day of Unit 9. From last class, we had 3 survey questions. How old are you? How many hours do you spend on the phone a day? And how much money do you spend a week? And then remember, I already had you guys hypothesize like 1 and 2. I heard a lot of the older you are, the more you'll spend on the phone. Some people thought the older you are, the less time you spend on the phone. We also have how many hours you spend on the phone versus how much money you spend a week. I think I heard a lot of people say that the more time they spent on the phone, the more money they thought someone would spend. I think that was the more common hypothesis I heard for that one. And then the final one was how old are you and how much money you spend a week. That one I heard a lot of people say, or most of you guys said, the older you are, the more money you would spend a week, and that does seem like it's going to be true. What we're going to find out is what is true. To kind of start us off, I want to show you guys how to determine what X and Y represent on Desmos. So we're going to go to those graphs and we're going to find out, okay, what did X represent, what did Y represent in each one of them. So go ahead and go to Desmos, make sure you're on this page, and then go ahead and sign in. So you want to go to your account with the 3 graphs on there that we did from last time. If for whatever reason you don't have your graphs, please reach out to me. So like email me and be like, hey, I don't have my graphs. I don't know what happened, and I can somehow share the other ones. Okay, so once you're logged in, I see my name there. You're going to go to the 3 lines here. And then here's the graphs that I saved. So I have 1 and 3, 2 and 3, and 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and open up 1 and 2, open graph. And now I have question 1 and 2 up here. I'm going to do the same thing for 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 on a new tab. So I want all of my graphs open basically. So I'm going to go to Desmos again. Notice when I'm here already, my name is already up here, Veronica. I'm going to go over here. So that was graph 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and pull up 2 and 3 next. Press open. And then it opens up the graph there. Notice my little columns. And one more time. Where am I going? Desmos. No. And I'm going to open up graph 1 and 3. Okay, so what these basically were, I'm going to go ahead and start on graph 1 and 2. What we are going to do is we are going to identify, paste the graph for questions 1 and 2 here. So first we're going to go ahead and paste this graph here with all the dots. So in order to do that, we can just scoot this over. Just make sure that as many dots as possible are in the picture, and I don't want to be too zoomed out. See if I'm too zoomed out how it just looks like a big mess there? I want to zoom in a little bit so I could see where these dots are. That's good there. And then I want to take a picture of this and paste it. You can either clipboard or clip art it, like and take it. So there's like a little snipping tool here. You can snip and do that. Or I think a lot of you guys last time did the share graph. So you would go where it says share graph, export image, and then from there you have your graph. I can just copy it and paste it here. So paste graph for questions 1 and 2 here, Control V to paste, and it's okay if it goes over that part, it's fine. So I'm just going to put that right there, and then that would be your graph 1 and 2. Now the next part is what does the x-axis represent, what does the y-axis represent? So for that I'm going to go back to Desmos, get out of here, and bring this back. So see this first column? That first column is my x numbers. The second column is my Y numbers. Now, if we think about what these numbers represented, these were the responses to question 1 and question 2. So question 1, I'm going to go back and look at it. Question 1 was how old are you? Question 2 was how many hours do you spend on the phone a day? So that just means X represents how old you are. These are all the responses for how old you are, and you could see how they're close to like high school age, 17, 15, 16. And then these are how many hours you spend on the phone a day. So what I'm going to go ahead and type over here, or what you're going to type on the slide, once you paste your picture, I'm going to say, what does X represent? X was the age. I'm going to put X dot age, or you could put the age, something like that. Y represented question 2, which was hours on the phone. Okay, and then that's all you would do for these. So basically it's always like this first part is X, this is Y. So for your second graph, you're going to do the same thing. So notice I'm done with questions 1 and 2. You can save it if you want, just in case, make sure nothing goes wrong. So then I'm going to go to 2 and 3, same thing. Take a picture of this, go to share, export, and then from there I'm going to copy. You guys are about to hear a fire truck go by my apartment right now. That's pretty loud. Okay, then you paste this here. Oops, pasted it twice. Okay, so then we paste it there. Same thing, this is for questions 2 and 3. So that just means X is going to represent question 2, Y is going to represent question 3. So then I'm just going to go here. Question 2 is hours spent on the phone. Question 3 is money spent a week. So then we're going to go here. We would say this time X represents hours on the phone, hours on phone. And on this one, Y represents money spent per week. And we could double check those on our Desmos and make sure that those values make sense. So bringing back up the table, we said X was the time on the phone. Okay, so 5 hours, 5, 6. This is money spent, so that makes sense too. So what's nice about these questions is the age questions, the responses for the age questions, they look like someone's age. Whereas the responses for the phone, it's a little bit smaller. Like we didn't interview a bunch of 5 and 6-year-olds. And then the answers for how much money you spend are a lot larger because people spend a lot more money. Okay, so that's all you're doing for this part, basically. I know I rambled a little bit. You're basically just identifying what X and Y represent. So then for 1 and 3, again, you're going to paste your graph of 1 and 3. X is going to represent question 1, but I want you to tell me exactly what that is. Y is going to represent question 3. I want you to tell me exactly what that is. All right, so that's it for this video. I think I do have at least one more video coming up soon.